All right, now I want to introduce Vinny Moderano. And before he comes up, Vinny began his career within the Y movement. He joined Old Colony Y, as most of you know, as president and CEO back in 1992. 26 years. He's the man. He is Vinny Moderano. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
Thank you. I've been referred to many things, Billy, but never the man. So I'm not sure what that means. But thanks to everyone. We do have a very exciting evening, and we want to make sure that it's fun and informative, and at the same time that we show our gratitude to all of you. A few minutes ago, you heard Eli Florence, the chair of the annual gala committee, thank a host of volunteers, staff, and sponsors. And all those people deserve our gratitude for helping make this event happen. But I think it's important that we take time now to recognize Eli's effort himself. A few years back, when we began to discuss the prospect of having an association-wide event like a gala for this Y, it was Eli who became the driving force. For him, the decision was a no-brainer. It really didn't matter what we did or how we did it. What he cared about was the why we were going to do it. And the why is always centered around our mission and cause. Eli simply wants to help people any way that he can. In fact, I remember in one of those early meetings, he said something like, imagine the impact that a gala could have on people in our community. That's all it took to convince everyone on the group at the table at the time to rally behind the idea. And what was once a dream way off in the future became a reality. But a story like this shouldn't really surprise anyone who knows Eli. His generosity extends far beyond the walls of our Y. He not only sits on our board as an active volunteer, but he's also deeply involved with the Cardinal Cushing Centers. He also has helped start the Rockland Recovery House Program, which is an organization that provides supportive care for individuals just out of treatment. And on top of it, if you were to go into his office or his building, you would see that there is a bucket for donations where he's encouraging his his staff to give generously on behalf of the organization that he's happened to be supportive at that time. For Eli, he learned to be the quiet, behind-the-scenes philanthropist that he is today from his uncle Lenny. He has since passed down many of those values to his son David and daughter Kayla, who are here with us this evening. Needless to say, Eli, we hope that the generous spirit also rubs off on your grandkids. And if timing is correct, and if you look on the screen, you'll see that Eli has David's two newest kids, and they're quite something else, Eli. So congratulations. But all kidding aside, we actually have a little surprise for you this evening, Eli. In the past, at our annual meetings, we would we would identify a volunteer who has gone above and beyond his dedication to the mission of the Y, and we would present them with the Distinguished Leadership Award. It's been a few years now since we've done that, but tonight seems like the perfect time to bring that tradition back, and you, Eli, are the perfect recipient. There are some people in this world who work to make money, but you have always been someone who works to make a difference and give back. Your contributions to the Y are beyond measure, and you continue to set an example for others to follow. Not only have you helped move our organization forward as a leader among leaders on our board, but your personal counsel has truly made me a better CEO. Eli, for that, we are all deeply indebted to everything that you do, and would you please come on up so we can present you with the Distinguished Leadership Award. Now, before we let Eli leave the stage, his lovely wife, Donna, is with us. And Donna, I won't ask you to come up, but we do have a bouquet of flowers for you that I think Carol or someone is going to bring over to you. I'm not... Are they coming somewhere else? Oh. Right over there. So Eli, to further, I think, put a real tribute to tonight, Representative Cronin could not be here with us this evening. However, she did prepare a citation that I have that she asked that I present this to you, and it is from the House of Representatives, and it reads as follows. Be it hereby known that to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincere congratulations to Eli Florence in recognition of you receiving the Community Leadership Award by the Old Colony YMCA in the 2018 Rise Up Gala. The entire membership extends their very best wishes and expresses their hope for future good fortune and continued success to you in all your endeavors. And just quickly, I believe Senator Michael Brady is here, and Mike has a similar citation from the Senate. Mike? Oh, okay, there he goes.
As you can tell, I need to get back working out at the Y, maneuvering through this great crowd tonight. You know, Vinny's like Father Claudia at St. Patrick's Church. Mike, we haven't seen you in a while, you know, so. But I had the honor of serving on the Committee of Management when I was a little younger and thinner and no gray hairs, and it was a great honor to be involved with the YMCA in Brockton. And I appreciate all the good deeds that the Y does do. So I'm honored to be here, and thank you to Eli for all the work you've done and all your giving, because in life, what you give back comes back to you tenfold. So thank you for all you do. So this is a citation from the Massachusetts Senate. Hereby extends congratulations to Eli Florence in recognition of you being the recipient of the Community Leadership Award offered by the Old Colony YMCA. It's signed by the President, Karen Spilka, the Clerk, William Welch, myself, Mike Brady, and Senator Walter Timothy. Congratulations. Thank you.
Please be seated. I'd also just briefly like to recognize our current board chair, John Tuhig. John, would you stand? John is just before us. John was elected to his first term as board chair, as our 54th board chair, a year ago today. Accompanying John is his lovely wife, Susan DeCastro, who also serves as city councilor in the city of Brockton. So welcome to both of you. You know, I will tell you that our YMCA has been historically blessed with exceptional board chairs. And I'm here to tell you that John is on his way, really, to being among the best of the best board chairs. So, John, thank you for all of your efforts on behalf of those that we serve each and every day. So, again, I'd like to, I have just a brief message. I do want to express my appreciation to each and every one of you. As we plan tonight's program, we wanted to be able to tell the Y story through a summer lens. When I think back about how our summer camps, Y branches, and social service programs work together to serve children and families, I'm reminded again about the why is so important more than the what and how. That's because why speaks to our motivation and our values. It's no mistake that we're not exactly an ordinary Y. Our unique perspective on the summer experience is the result of decades of work taking place along with what some might call the road less traveled as far as WISE goes. So when we talk about the summer, we just don't talk about camp. Instead, we talk about reinventing camp. To us, summer time is a time we work with local schools to close the academic achievement gap. It's a time to develop programming for children of all abilities. It's a time to build character by asking teens to transform into leaders, role models, and mentors to younger campers. It's a time to offer children the opportunity to experience something new and find their spark. For Old Colony Y, wading into uncharted territory by examining our offerings from a different lens is a core element of our work. If there's an opportunity for us to serve children and families better, we'll do it because it's what our community deserves. This philosophy permeates everything we do and extends beyond the summer to each and every corner of our Y. It's the reason we operate a mental health clinic. It's the reason we offer supportive housing for families experiencing homelessness. It's the reason we've decided to tackle chronic health diseases. And it's the reason that for 130 years, our mission has never changed. And we'll always be prepared to respond to needs in our community and do so with passion, dedication, and commitment. With that being said, it's now my honor and privilege to recognize a longtime volunteer and dear personal friend and friend to our Y, and that is Randy Papadalis. Before I ask Randy to come up, I want to say just a few words. You know, it's fitting that we recognize Randy tonight, although I know he does not like to be in the spotlight. With that said, for me, everything that we're talking with you about tonight is something that Randy has been involved with deeply in helping to form and shape. So Randy, I'd like you to come up the stage for a moment and be with me. Randy, I know recognition like this has never been your priority. Instead, family has always come first. At the Y, we talk a lot about serving our community through programs and services that Randy has helped us move forward and shape in so many different ways. But Randy will always be quick to point out that your family is actually the first community you belong to. There's a great lesson in that way of thinking, and it helps us to serve families we see each and every day who walk through our doors. In fact, many of the stories you'll be hearing tonight are about families, regardless of how they're defined. And I'd like to think that Randy sees many of his own family values reflected here among what we like to call our family. Our Y family, in case you're wondering, is constantly growing. It's made up of volunteers, members, program participants, generous donors, community partners, local cities, towns, organizations, and schools, and even world-renowned CEOs and visionary leaders like Randy. Randy held the position of president and CEO of Ocean Spray Cranberries for the past 16 years and has built a career breathing life into many of the biggest brands in the world. During his time at Ocean Spray, he brought our two organizations closer together through significant financial support and ongoing volunteer engagement. But Randy's real impact has been about time and talent with us. He and his team at Ocean Spray opened their doors to our Y on a number of occasions, lending their marketing and communications expertise. Even earlier this year, he took the time and made the effort to guide our mentoring team through a branding, launched a new program that we called Old Colony Y Mentoring. He was even tapped by YUSA to serve as an advisor on the largest rebranding process in the history of the YMCA nationally. As you can imagine, a lot of ideas were kicked around during that time about how to best tell our story. Inevitably, You've had someone suggest that the YMCA needed a national celebrity spokesperson. Thankfully, the powers to be ran the idea by Randy first, and his response was simple and direct. He said, when you have a good product, you don't need a fancy spokesperson. He believed we already have people within the Y who could tell our story better than any actor, athlete, or pop star. As tonight's program goes on, I think you'll begin to agree with this philosophy. We have a pretty good product, and no celebrity will ever tell our story better. In fact, many of the principles we learned from Randy about storytelling are on display this evening. But you know, Randy, the impact that you've made at our Y went far and beyond the brand. Your fingerprints are, quite frankly, all over our organization, and in many ways, we've adopted your attitude and philosophy about not just what we do or how we do it, but why we do the work we do and why it is so important. Time and time again, whether discussing a new project, venture, program, you would say, if not the why, but who? Those words are echoed by staff and volunteers throughout the Y as we continue to serve as a safety net for the community, tackling issues others wouldn't, and building programs considered too risky or complex. Randy, you've never been afraid to buck the trend, and you are the true embodiment of that mindset. So it is with the greatest pleasure that we are able to present you with this year's Call to Action Award. It's really kind of a neat. It says, Call to Action Award presented Randy Papadopoulos, October 27, 2018. And it has, of course, all the graphics of tonight's gala. So, Randy, I will give it to you.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you for what is really a humbling and incredible recognition. You know, I look out over the audience here this evening, and I see so many people that have given so much to this wonderful organization. I tend to wonder what I'm doing up here as opposed to them. But it truly is special looking out over the many volunteers that we have who have contributed so much. Vinny said a lot of nice words, but I have to be honest with you, they really pale in comparison to the benefits that I have gotten by working with the Old Colony Y. You know, truth be told, when I first got involved, thanks to my father-in-law, Wayne, who brought Vinny along to my office one day, it was really all about a corporate commitment. And I felt it was important that Ocean Spray, as one of the largest providers in the community, also give back to that community, and I thought that the Old Colony Y was one of the better ways to be able to do that. And it continued to be a very important corporate commitment, as Vinny pointed out. But what I didn't expect to happen is it became personal. It became as much a personal commitment for me as it did a corporate commitment. And that was truly special as I began to recognize what a truly special organization this is. Those of you that are involved know this. Those of you that are visiting or are thinking about getting involved, the healthy body and the healthy mind aspects of the Y are pretty well known. But as Eli pointed out earlier, it's really that social network, the safety net that the Old Colony Y Social Services Network provides that is incredibly special as well. You know, there's a lot of bad examples of politicians getting along on a national basis right now. But I wish they could all come to southeastern Massachusetts and watch the Old Colony Y working with local government officials and doing it right for the benefit of this community. I have to say, I've done a lot of traveling and I've met many government officials across this country. There is no better example of private-public partnership than the one that the Old Colony Y has with our local and state officials. So thank you very much, Vinny, for all you do in that regard. So my parting comments to all of you is, if you're involved, stay involved. Please, we need you to continue to do what you do. If you're thinking about getting involved, do it, because you will get so much more from being involved than you will ever give. So thank you very much, and I truly appreciate the recognition.